Hey, SWARTHOS here. A little update. Um, I have been trying to upload some Destiny 2 gameplay that I put together. It's over an hour's worth of Destiny 2 gameplay. Um, for the life of me, I cannot get it to load into my editor for some reason. It starts to load, or I should say, I get the video polished and edited the way I want it, and when I go to save it, it gets about a third of the way through the save, and then the system crashes. I don't know why it's doing that. Um, so I will work on that after this. But I felt some creative juices flowing through me earlier while I was riding my bike. I went on an 8 mile bike ride, stationary. I told that to my doctor once, and it's like, "Oh yeah, man, you working out? You need to work out, man." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I ride a bike." "Oh yeah, right on, man. Yeah, how far do you go?" And I said, "Oh yeah, I ride about between 8 and 10 miles a day every day." "Cool." I says, "Yeah, I got it, in my kitchen. It's a stationary." He's like, "Oh, oh, it's stationary. Oh, well, I'm riding down from Seattle to L.A. On my bike." "No, I won't be doing that unless you put mine in the back of a truck, right?" And anyways, well, that was a real digression there, wasn't it? So my creative juices were really flowing while I was riding my bike, and I have lost all my energy. I spent it all on the bike, is what happened, and so I'm going to sit down here and try to put something together because it's been a while since I've spoken into the void here. I was going to give a commentary on friendship. However, I don't have any friends. All right, so it's not like I have any expert advice. Um, and I'm not complaining about that. I've thought about that a lot. I have a Reddit account, Swarthos on Reddit, where I go out there and dispense my um, advice. Um, anyways, while I'm out there, I notice there's so many broken-hearted, lonely people. I joined this one subreddit group. I think it was called No Friends, or I'm Lonely and Have No Friends, or I've joined a couple, or similar like something like that. I have no friends. So I was just curious if there's anyone like me out there. While I do feel lonely, let me start off. Let me start off backwards with what I had in my mind of how I was going to let this go. Like I've mentioned before, here comes another digression. Um, I don't plan anything in my head what I'm going to say or what I'm going to type into my journals, my blogs, or what I'm going to say on my vlogs. I just go with the moment, and whatever comes to mind, that's what I enter or say. It's probably not the best formula for any kind of, I was gonna say success, but I'm not looking for success. I'm just looking for reality, for pure reality, for true, what I am, who I am. And maybe that's a little different from day to day, moment to moment, but everyone's like that, right? We're not the same. I mean, we're the same person, but I mean, we're not in the same uh, frame of mind, the same uh, emotional state of mind, energy levels, all that change, fluctuate. And so I want to capture, because like I've said before, again, I produced this for the Great Repository. The future Great Repository, where all of the knowledge of mankind will one day be stored for future historians to review. All right, and that's what this is for. This is for them to look back, and here's a slice of now. Okay, Swarthos coming at you from now, from a slice of now, a slice of Swarthos. That's my online handle, my gamer tag. All right, enough of that. So I derailed myself there for a moment. I am derailed right now. Let's get those gears turning. What the heck I was talking about? So I'm on Reddit, and I notice a lot of lonely people. They seem devastated, alone, all alone. They want friends. They want to know what's wrong with them. They want to know what they're doing. Why nobody likes them. Why they're shunned. They have no one to talk to. Nobody to share moments with. And so oh yeah, I was going to say, I'm going to start off backwards, right? I was going to say, that's me. Okay. That is me. Alone, lonely, no friends, no one to talk to, not anybody to call on the phone. Nobody calls me. Nobody. And I mean that. Nobody. Nothing. But don't think that this is a pity party. It's not. You see, I've more than given up. I used to have hope maybe 10 years ago that, oh yeah, I'll make a buddy, we'll be able to hang out and do stuff. And I hoped for that. And I would meet somebody, start to get to know them, and then bam, they'd be like, okay, Swarthos is a weirdo. I know that. I am. A little bit of it is manufactured, I suppose. My choice. I mean, I've chosen to wear these pseudo VR goggles, right? I mean, it looks like VR goggles. I've got the full-on headset, and if I don't wear a hat, then my balding head shines. So to avoid the glare, plus it just looks cool wearing different hats. So I've given up trying to have a friend, and I've thought about it. I thought, do I really want friendship, companionship? And I think, well, gosh, actually I don't, because then I kind of have to start thinking about how to maintain that relationship, and I'm not good at that. And I know I'm not good at that. Not that I'm offensive or anything. It's just that maybe I am offensive. I don't know. I don't know if I knew I could go into those Reddit groups and tell these people what the problem is. And so basically I went in there and says, look, what you need to do is what I do. Keep a journal, write about it, type about it, get a YouTube channel, speak out into the void about how you feel, but for the love of God, man, don't kill yourself. I mean, these people are talking about killing themselves because they don't have a friend. Ugh, it's not worth it, man. It's not that I'm super happy and content with me and being on my own, which I am in a certain way. I mean, I kind of get energized by it when I'm going to go out someplace, which is rare. If I'm going to, get in my car, I'm going to go to the movies, right? Or, to the mall or whatever. And I think to myself, okay, I'm going to be going in alone, right? I mean, I don't have anybody to go there with. I'm going there alone, and it's going to be kind of cool when I see that man and woman who are really in love walking through there hand in hand, and I'm there alone. I'm thinking, excuse me, I blew out my voice box. I kind of get a charge out of that. Or I see a couple of buddies there. And I'm there, by myself. I feel like I'm on a mission of sorts. A solo mission. A man alone, in and out type of thing, I don't know. I guess I've embraced it in that sense. It makes me feel self-reliant. Excuse me. Um, so I try to tell these people, you know, capitalize on being alone. You know, run with it. Don't kill yourself. You know, you're going to miss out on all the excitement. You know, the world could get hit by a huge asteroid in a couple of years, and you're going to miss it. You know, you want to be here for something like that, right? When there's great cataclysm, or when civil war breaks out because the left and the right can't get along anymore. You know, you don't want to miss that. It's going to be exciting. Not that I'm not advocating that. Okay, I don't want that to happen. No, I don't want anything like that to happen. I don't want to get hit by an asteroid. I don't want civil war to break out. I'm just saying. I'm just trying to give these people hope by focusing on something more disastrous than not having a friend. So, yeah, I don't have any. And why is that? Well, it's not their fault. It's mine. I'm the common denominator, right? For every relationship that's failed, or taken a turn for the worse. Yeah. Yeah. I guess there's something wrong with me. But I don't care. Yeah, I don't care, man. So, that's about it on friendship. I think that's it on friendship. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, plus I don't, other people got problems and stuff, and yeah, I don't want to hear it. I got enough of my own problems. I don't want to hear somebody else's problems. So, yeah, go it alone. I say go it alone. Right on. Now, I was working on, shortly after this, I'm going to go back to work and try to figure out what on earth is going on with the game file I'm trying to upload. Just me playing a little bit of Destiny. Yeah, right on. I think that's about it. Yeah, okay, here comes some silence now as I try to think. Like I said, I don't rehearse these things. They're all very raw and very real. This is all very real. So let's take a moment of silence here and try to figure out where we're going with this. I've had 12 cups of coffee. That's something I could talk about. That gamer fuel, 100 milligrams of caffeine per serving. Right on, man. That's what I'm talking about. Now, there used to be this stuff called Ripped Fuel. How I lived on that stuff. This is back in the 90s. And one of the reasons why I lost a friend back then, I blame it directly on the Ripped Fuel and what it did to me. It caused me to have these psychotic episodes. It was just like way too much caffeine and stuff in there. Plus, it almost stopped my heart. Ripped Fuel, it had this Ma Wang and guarana root in it, which was just awesome stuff. Oh, man, you would get this flush of just a rush of energy and just, man. But, whoo, it did a number on my heart. I mean, I got weird palpitations, and I had to go to the doctor and be put on special medication. They even put me on antipsychotic medication. No kidding. That's where I met Serial Killer and the Plague. Seen the movie The Hackers? Or Hackers? I know those dudes in real life. That movie, whether you realize it or not, now it's not based on actual events, but the characters, the names of the characters are real hackers, because the guy that wrote the movie, the script for the movie, he did research by hanging out in New York with some known hackers at the time, and that was this group that I got mixed up with like 20 years ago. Well, maybe 18 years ago. And I know those guys. And yeah, probably shouldn't say anymore. Anyways, I know those guys, and I can't even remember why I brought that up now. But oh yeah, when I was taking some antipsychotics, I ended up in this hacker enclave, for lack of a better term. There, it's just where all these hackers hung out. I met Captain Crunch. Right? I mean, anyone who knows about phreaking knows who Captain Crunch is. He invented phreaking because it was the reason they called him Captain Crunch is because there was a toy whistle found in a box of Captain Crunch cereal that, when blown into the mouthpiece of a public telephone, created the same tone, which made the phone think you're dumping money in there, so you can make calls for free. He just go in there and he's hacking the phone system, phreaking the phone system there. Captain Crunch, met him in there. He was in there. I don't know if I want to drop any more names, but yeah, let's leave it at that. Anyways, I ran into those guys, and I hung out there for a while. I went back. Nah, yeah, that's it. No, yeah, there's some stuff I could tell you, man, but I'm not going to put it out there. So I was into this stuff called ripped fuel, and I loved it. But then they took it off the market because it was like killing people, right? And I was living off of it. I was having like double servings, during the day of this stuff. You're only supposed to like drink, which actually I was having quadruple servings, because I would have, instead of a single serving, I was having a double serving in the morning and then a double serving in the afternoon. So I'm having quadruple the recommended serving amount. And I'm sure it did some type of damage because it was one molecule removed from methamphetamine. At least that's what I said. I read that somewhere once, and I thought it sounded cool. I'm taking this stuff that's one molecule removed from methamphetamine, and I'm living off of it, and trying to maintain a friendship. And so, I scare the hell out of everybody, and it's like, okay, SWARTHOS. I don't have that excuse now. The only thing I'm on now is caffeine. 12 cups per day, which to me is mild. After coming off of a quadruple servings per day of ripped fuel, and then somebody says, oh, you drink way too much coffee. I'm like, dude, this is nothing compared. You should have seen I was drinking ripped fuel and coffee back in the day, But as I was going to say and segue into, I wanted to try out some of this G Fuel, which is gamer fuel for gamers, and it's got taurine in it and no sugar and 100 milligrams of caffeine per serving. And I'm like, yeah, right on. I'm all for that. But I'm getting a pretty good buzz from my coffee. But I like stuff that enhances you, I like drugs, legal drugs. The other day I went to Best Buy. I was going to look at the have it here. See if they had any Citizens Band radios, because I'm into the Citizen Band radio thing, right? I need to get a good Citizens Band radio. Ham radio, right? And so I went in there, and they didn't know what the hell I was talking about. I'm allergic to my dog. He's got a skin condition. And so I left out of there, and I'm walking across the parking lot, and there's all these flyers, you know, these leaflet things all over the parking lot. And I kind of glanced at one and thought, well, that looks kind of interesting. I will insert it. I'll tell you when I'm going to insert it, because I left it downstairs. So I caught the corner of my eye as I'm getting in my car. I'm like, oh, what is that on the ground? Oh, I like things like that. I like it when people leave stuff under my windshield wiper. Okay, want to hand me something out on the street, like, here, man, you know, you got one of these, check this out. I'm like, oh yeah, let me have that, man. I want that. I need to have that. I need to read about it. I need to, you know, check it out. So I'm all for that. Some people that I can't understand, they just walk by, they don't want it, or they come up to their car and they see this under the windshield wiper, they take it out and they throw it on the ground. I'm like, no, you know, give that to me. And so I saw all this stuff on the ground. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to grab one of those. At first I checked to see if there was one under my windshield wiper, and there was not. I was like, darn it, you know, because I wanted a clean one. But so I ended up getting what looked like the best one off the ground. It was kind of damaged, been run over and stuff. And so I walk a couple steps back, and there's a guy sitting in this truck across from me. He's watching me, right? And I go over there and pick it up, and I hold it up, and he looks at me and he starts laughing. And, you know, I'm like, yeah, right on, man, I've got this. And it was about advertising a marijuana shop. I mean, I talk about a bonus. It's about a marijuana shop that's like across the street from my house. I'm like, it can't get any better than this, because I was just thinking in the morning about taking up the habit of smoking some dope. You know? I've, you know, never really been a dope smoker, but I thought now that it's legal, why don't I start? You know, I might start vaping too before they outlaw it. I want to get some of those flavors, because I've read that, hey, you can lose weight, right? We all can be a little thinner. And so I was thinking, why not? I can start vaping. I'd like to get some of those bubblegum flavors and stuff. And, you know, instead of eating candy, I can be, you know, smoking that and taking a hit of dope and taking a hit of, you know, bubblegum vape. You know, but now I'm reading that people are dying, but I want to make sure I avoid that. So I haven't pursued that any further. So that's just something I was considering. All right, I'm considering getting into smoking. But it might be, you know, not good for me. I do have I do have a healthy lungs, I believe, but I don't want to damage them. So, and so, caffeine. So I'm thinking about the G Fuel. All right, thinking about the G Fuel, and okay, that's what we came up with from a moment of silence there. Let's give this one more stab at meditative reflection here and see if anything comes to mind. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and put this through the editor and get it out to you, the audience, even though I haven't had an audience yet. And as I've said, this isn't for entertainment purposes. It is for the future great repository. If I haven't explained that before with any clarity, it is a facility where all internet activity shall be stored. I believe such a place does exist now in Colorado. And as I mentioned before, you have the archives, the online archive, the Wayback Machine, where you can go in there, and if it's a website that once existed but no longer exists, you can pull it up and see at least a good hunk of it, what it was, right? And so I'm hoping that one day mine gets in there, right? Because, you know, who knows, 100 years from now, 200 years from now, somebody may need to know what I had to say. I don't think I'm that important. So I'm not saying like, so many people have much better polished productions out there. I don't, but I do have this. See that? That's when I was going to start this club. I watched the movie Skulls, right? And so I got all excited. I don't think I have. Yeah, I do. So I made these cards and stuff. I started a club, but I didn't have anybody else in it. Anyways, well, the one guy that was going to be in it, I think he was offended by the fact that I had skull in there. He didn't quite understand why. He said, well, skulls represent death. And I was like, well, no, it represents like the skulls, a secret society. We got a skull on there, you know, with a Matrix background. So that was the end of that friendship. I think it lasted a day or a week. Okay, so I better get going. I got a lot of work to do here. Plus, I want to do some more gaming later on. Don't be shy, please. If you want to comment on this, please do. I'd love to hear from you. If you want to avoid this place like the plague, that's cool too. I understand. I know people are always asking for thumbs up and all that stuff. I don't have any thumbs up. This kind of sounded strange as I said that. It's no worries, man. No hurries, no worries. Thank you for watching. SWARTHOS. Oh, I can't wait till my pseudo VR goggles come. Oh, yeah. SWARTHOS. Out.